Hey, how's everybody doing? Uh, Beat down day today. Tired. It's not really just today, but it was last night and today. Hey, Blaine. Hey, Grayson. Good to see you guys. Uh, Maybe we get some more people coming in. Smash that like if you choose to do so. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. So I ended up. I think I came back in the house last night at like 3:30 in the morning. We didn't even do the bees last night. We did set them out like in their locations, and then we ended up just breaking the front door on there, right? So when the sunlight came out, that the bees could do orientation and get used to their location, and that was supposed to work, but then moved them over into their nukes, and then you guys saw the videos today with what was going on. So it's just been kind of crazy, kind of a crazy day for beekeeping. I haven't talked in. I mean, I laid down, and then I ate some dinner, and I was out. So if I missed. I think Carl gave me a call. I have to give him a call back. Jason from Bohemia Bees gave me a call. I got to give him a call back. So just been busy, guys. Busy today. So what's going on in you guys' beekeeping worlds? And been busy getting things ready for honey time, huh? Yeah, ours is kind of trickling in a little bit. The big colonies don't have any problems, right? It's the little ones that are having a little bit more issue with it. But oh man, Lake boxes. Ugh. Well, if they can get them to you on time, that's the key. Hey, Blaine, you know what? I was funny story. I've been talking about frames, right? And I'm going through all the stacks of stuff I had in my kitchen. Got done. Boom. I had probably at least 30 deep frames in there that I can put in deep supers. So I've got some of those. But it's busy. Man, where is everybody tonight? Only 4 people. Wow. That's usually 4 dedicated people. DC must be out there working his bees hard, because I haven't seen him since he got his bees, except for like one time. Let's see what Charlie's doing. What Charles in charge is doing tonight. And let's see. Daisy's been catching swarms. Randy Klingon catching swarms. Hey, Robert, good to see you, buddy. This was kind of, usually, I go around 8 o'clock. So this is definitely later than normal. Maybe Charlie clicked the link for a few minutes. It is getting, late for us East Coasters that have to be at work early tomorrow. I almost didn't get back out of bed. Yes, I did. Boom. So here's what I've been doing. So the people that are ordering this, I'm sending them this bottle, but I'm sending them a label so they can put it on their squirt bottle. Right? So they know what's on their squirt bottle. They can just put that on there, and will it hold up on a squirt bottle being beat around? I don't know, but I think we're looking good, man. Our little product line is looking pretty good. The next labels that I get for these are going to be different. The writing is going to be different on them, so it's a nice little upgrade. We're just doing what we do. And here's the other thing. So you can actually see, like when you put a half, you'll see a half right there. Matt, hey Matt, what's going on? I'm sending Charlie a smoke signal right now. Hold on. And so today was crazy. I had one of those new nukes. Well, you guys are good about following what I put out there, but let me just show you what happened today. So I don't know what happened today, to be honest with you. So this box, come on, there you go. That box right there. You see all the bees on there? That's more bees than came in the box probably to begin with. And I took the top off, and that many bees were on the inside. But I had another nuke down the line a little bit that had swarmed out, I guess, when I was inside, and landed on the front of that box. And that's the box this morning that was trying to swarm out and then returned right back. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know. So I'm going to have to give it a day or so, and then, maybe tomorrow, go out there and see what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and throw probably an Apivar strip in all those. Or I've got another treatment I might do to another type of treatment that I can't disclose. I'm going cowboy on it, possibly to see how they do. But it's going to be interesting. Let's see. So anybody that wants to click the link, it's pinned up in the chat. Come on in and let's talk. I've got I have to address something. I kind of got chastised, and it's by somebody who really didn't know. I'm not mad at them or anything, but the mistake was made. I was on a live, and somebody said, "Hey, David at Barnyard Bees was talking up your product," but it wasn't my product. So, hey, Charlie, and so with the product that he was talking about, I probably have a little bit more insight on that product than the average person because, Charlie, are you muted? And
now I'm not.
Now you're not. Okay. So I saw Charlie jump to my defense. Charlie jumped to my defense on that post, but I like Barnyard Bees. I talk about their channel all the time, right? That's not a problem. The thing was that he was talking about honey rustler. Okay. So I'll give you all the story. I'm sorry. He was talking about honey or swarm wrangler. Oh, I'm getting my products confused. Swarm wrangler. So when I started the swarm lure journey, my initial name for the product, and we did it in a live chat, was Swarm Wrangler, right? And this was the label. I paid a guy on Fiverr to come up with the guy in the lasso and all that, right? He came up with it, and I was like, oh, I like that. So I went with that. Well, the problem was after I had these printed up and started bottling and labeling, that someone brought it to my attention. Actually, it was Bob Fry with the Interceptor Swarm Traps. Told me, that's trademarked. And I said, no, I really didn't know it was trademarked, but I did the search, right? He showed me the link and everything. I went to the trademark thing, and it was trademarked by Jimmy, who is the partner of David. David and Jimmy are partners at Barnyard Bees. And so the thing that they don't tell you on that video is we're having great success with this lure. But what they don't tell you in the video is that that's their product. They make that. That's their website, and that they own that trademark, right? So that's what all I said was, and you make it too, right? Because he never said that. He just put out to his 300,000 subs that they're having great success with the lure, right? So, and the only place you can buy it is his store. So that's why they send you to that link. That link sends you to their store, and then they sell it. So I was just going for a little transparency was all I was doing. I wasn't really talking bad or anything, but what'd the guy say, Charlie? He said, "You owe David an apology. He was trying to help you." Well, no, he wasn't helping me. He wasn't trying to help me. He was trying to help himself.
He got the product names confused.
Got them twisted. So I'm not mad at the guy, but I know because someone else had said that in the live video, which prompted me to go look for the video because it's like maybe he was using my product. I don't know. But it wasn't.
I don't think it was a regular video one. It wasn't live.
No, it was a regular. No, I was live.
Oh,
somebody
okay.
made the chat in the comments. So it was like, let me go check. And I went to his video and he had his. And that's why I couldn't use my initial labels was because they already had a guy that had the lasso. But my guy on my product has pistols. That's why he now has pistols and not a lasso. And the name has changed. So that's what prompted me. That's how I knew about the backstory behind it. That the other.
Well, I didn't even know that David and them they're actually making it and they're throwing.
Yeah, so Jimmy holds the trademark on that label. So that's how I knew that. So
yeah, he's the unseen partner in any of their videos.
Jimmy runs the store, right? And even though they're partners on the store and stuff, but the kind of way it works is not too unsimilar to the way I do it. Is I talk about my products on videos and stuff, and people that follow my channel go check out my page, and it just works like that. But now David's got 300,000 subs. I've got 2,500, 24 or something. So, big disparity there. And,
yeah, but David, I'll tell you, David's back.
Nice guy. I've talked to him on the phone. Nice guy.
Oh, really? I mean, he's not doing a lot. He's not doing the amount of videos he used to do.
Right. Well, he's got the subs now, right? That's what you'll find is when you first start, you got to really grind to get the subs and everything up on YouTube. And then after you got the subs up, then those 300,000 subs are going to watch every video you drop, which for some reason, when I try to hit the notification bell on Barnyard Bees, it won't let me get all the videos for him. I don't know if it's a setting he's got or what, but it is what it is. I mean, it's just, I don't know. But I wasn't being disgruntled.
All I can tell you about
free market is good.
His store is that the young fellow that I mentored, he was in the military or still is. And he came from, I'm going to say, yeah, he went out to Texas, I think, for boot camp or whatever. And he went to David's store and then he went over to Bob Benny's. And, he said, he was like, yeah, this is nice. It's an average Man Lake store. And then he packed up and went to Bob Benny's, which is, it's a major difference there. I mean, he got a packing company there and everything else.
Yeah. So David's, I think, I don't know much about where David lives, but I think David lives near, like in a small town. So he's got a small, like
North Georgia.
Yeah. North Georgia. I think it's, I've never been there, but I think it's actually like, a small town. Like I'm envisioning like a one stoplight type of town that's got a.
I don't think it's quite that small, but I've looked it up on the internet.
But it's like a building on, like, let's say a main street, but it's like an old town, right? So it's, whatever. Yeah. I mean, it's good. I'm glad, good for him. When I talked to Jimmy, he said they had ordered 100. I want to say it was over $100,000 in product from Man Lake. So good for them, man. Go for it.
And, mark my words. I think you're going to find Man Lake going broke here pretty soon.
It's
I think that what they're doing right now, from what I've been told and what I'm hearing, is they're basically depleting all their supplies across the country, because they got multiple places as far as warehouses go. And I think it's going to like, oh, we're closed.
You know, yeah, I don't know. I hope not. I hope not, because I mean, we do need beekeeping supply companies. I mean, we need more.
Thing of it is, they bought out Kelly. They got Man Lake. It's an investment company.
Mm-hmm.
And then they bought out that chicken outfit, which I could have told them that. I said, you know, if you watch any homesteader type video films and they're doing chickens, every one of them say we get all our birds from let's see, McMurray hatcheries.
Right.
And they're dealing with some other kind of hatchery they bought out. And you know, I don't think they're gonna sell that much there.
The what else happened today? Oh, so I've been begging and pleading and begging and pleading. I need help on Amazon. So one guy, you know, I've sold a good amount of swarm lure on Amazon. And I've sold, you know, some through the website, more through Amazon than the website, but it's just the nature of Amazon, right? So the thing with Amazon is a lot of it has to do with your product ratings. And I had a pretty good product rating, and I still do, but I had one jackwagon leave me a 1-star review because for whatever reason, he says he hasn't seen any bees on his colonies or anything like that. But everybody else that I've talked to that has sprayed the lure has gotten scalp bees to their colony. So I don't know if it's something he did. I don't know. I can't attest to that. But what I can say is,
I just listened to
it really killed me.
Somebody was talking about swarm lure, and you know, you can have the swarm lure; it just attracts the bees to the box.
I said that. Remember when I did my video? I said that on live stream. But that's what David at Barnyard Bees was saying. All the swarm lure does is get them to come check out the box.
That's what it was. I was listening to after the guy commented on your live chat. I went to David to watch the video to see what the product was that he had. And I was listening to David today, and he was saying it depends on location, depends how high up in the tree or whatever the box is. You know, it's all these things where you have your box placed, weather conditions and whatever. I mean, nobody really knows. It just, the swarm lure gives you a little bit of an edge for an attractant. And he says, that's pretty much it. And that's like your product. Your product isn't any different as far as an attractant.
That's it.
And,
that's all it is.
And if you don't put your box near, let's say some people believe it's got to be close to the wooded edge and close to a pond or a body of water where there seems to be a higher success rate. And that's what it amounts to.
Well, I freaked old Mark out when we were sitting there talking and that colony started to swarm today. Mark Andrews was here.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, where he went up in the air or something. And
yeah, they were flying up in the air. And I said, let me go get my swarm lure. And he said, oh, I got some in the truck door. He had a bottle of my lure in his truck door that I gave him at Hive Life, right? So I went and got a Pro Nuke. I put one frame that I had rolled wax on, and I had just broken some old comb off of a foundationless frame while we were putting those nukes or the package pluses into the boxes. And I went ahead and just threw that in the bottom and squirted some lure in it. And they started coming right down to the box immediately. And I started walking. And as I was walking with the Pro Nuke, they were following me. And I said, well, you know, let me just set it right here on the ground. And they came down to the box, and then they flew right back to their original colony. And then later in the day, I came back out, and there was 2 inches of bees on the front of the whole nuke, on that one nuke. And I opened it up. I said, well, did all the bees on the inside come to the outside? I opened it up. Nope. It's filled with bees on the inside. One
Well,
of them.
I've been using yours where I had them swarms, and I actually sprayed them on the frames, sprayed the back end of the frames from the entrance. And you see Bohemia, Jane or Jason.
Yeah.
And
So
anyway, it actually those bees were like hanging on the front of my nuke box. It's like, oh, I don't know whether we want to go. There was a few bees in there just kind of checking things out, and it was drawn comb, an old comb. And as soon as I put that spray in there, boom, they're all inside.
and well, Jason, if you guys didn't see Jason's video today,
I haven't yet. I hadn't had
he's
time
got
yet.
a swarm lure challenge, but it's like a blind test. I don't know what lures in. Nobody knows what lures in what box. There's a big logo on one and a small logo on the other, and you're supposed to go on the video and say if it's which one you think is going to catch the first swarm and which one you think is going to catch the most swarms. And you put hashtag big logo, hashtag little logo, which one you think it is. I don't know what lures are in the box, but I'm hoping mine's in one of them. You know, I don't know. He called me and said,
has he bought any of your stuff?
Yeah, he sells it. He sells some of my lure at his store.
Okay.
So, you know, if you're in Jason's area and need to go get some swarm lure, go get it from Bohemia Bees. And, you know, so it's a, you know, knock on wood, man. Steve caught 2 swarms in the same box back-to-back days. He got the swarm from yesterday, and then today he had another swarm on the side of the box because he just took the lure because he had one swarming in the air and sprayed it on the side of the box, and they all landed on the side of the box. So the product works. So, but I digress back to the thing is that one guy on Amazon put a 1-star review, and because I don't have that many reviews, it brings the whole thing down, right? So that's why I need people that have purchased it on Amazon to please go and leave a review. You know, I'm not telling you to lie on it, but if it's working and you're getting bees to your trap and it's doing what it's supposed to do, please review it because it will help out. And that's it. That's all I have to say about that. But yeah, so this is the new product. Jason, I don't even know if you've seen this because you've been a busy guy, but this is the new one. This is I don't even know what to call it. A deterrent? Let's call it a deterrent for a lack of better words. The Honey Rustler concentrate, and you see the words, they look like capped honey, the letters. But so you put half of this into a 32-ounce spray bottle, like one of those Zep spray bottles, and shake it up, and it works like a Honey Be Gone or something like that. So Be Quick, Honey Be Gone. And it's a fraction of the price when you do by ounce comparison.
Yeah, I just got off the phone with a friend of mine. He lives up in New York.
Not a concrete, a concentrate. Oh, so the concentrate, what this is allowing us to do, Jason, because this is a very potent amount in here, you're able to dilute it. And because you're able to dilute this 2-ounce bottle in, this will make a half a gallon. You can make two 32-ounce spray bottles. So that's 64 ounces out of a 2-ounce bottle. And that allows you to keep the shipping cost down because you're not shipping half a gallon of water in the mail. And it allows you to keep the product price down. So in comparison, for what the finished product is on this, if you were buying Be Quick from Man Lake at the same price per ounce, it would cost you $174 for the same amount of Be Quick as this costs for $29.99. So that's the
Did you see the price for your competitor, or what's it called? This swarm.
This concentrate will not catch you any bees. This concentrate is used to get the bees out of your honey supers. Or what I do, I use it more than just that, guys. I use it when I go to a swarm catch and I'm shaking bees off a branch and they keep wanting to go back to that branch. I can spray that on that branch after I've shook them, and they won't go back to that branch. So it helps keep them bees flying, which helps them find that box that you shook them down on the ground to, right? So,
or if you got a cutout.
Or if you got a cutout, you cut it out, you spray that in there. They don't want to go back in there, at least for a while, right?
But I got a Man Lake advertisement for your competitor. What's it called? Swarm Commander. How much do you think that they're selling that for?
Oh, I know. They're selling it for about $40.
$40 a bottle. I said, you're out of your mind.
And
you can buy your stuff for half price. Does just as well.
And so, right now I only bottled 50 of these. Mark was here. He got one, right? And then I think 6 or 7 pre-ordered it from the website. But it's one of those things that it's another tool in the toolbox, just another tool in the toolbox. And
I think a lot of people that, like Jason, does some cutout work. I've seen some videos of his. That the average person that either does cutouts or whatever forgets that you can use that in that situation.
I've used it for forced abscons before. Not mine. I haven't used mine for a forced abscon because I haven't done one this year, right? But in the past, I've used other brands of stuff to spray it in there and to drive them bees out of the hole, as many as you could, So it's it's I think it's going to be a killer product. It is more expensive for me to make than the swarm lure, so I don't make as much per bottle type of thing. So it's I ordered more bottles today. I ordered 100 more bottles to see. I don't know how it's going to go. So that's how I do it. I've done everything so far as products. I order a small amount. I make it up. I start to try to sell it. If it starts grabbing traction, then we put it up. We keep it going.
He wants the bee wearers.
All right. It's www.beewares.co, not .com, .co. And if for some reason you have a problem with that, then you got to use the full link that it's www.beewares.bigcartel.com. And
Brian, did you get that? What's it called? Scissors lift today?
No, I
got a phone call from Brian this afternoon.
Oh, did you? I love that guy. You know what? At Hive Life, we've met him on the stream before, but at Hive Life, he had that kind of like bubbly, outgoing personality, and he's a fun guy. And we have a lot of thought processes that I think are similar, but he's one of my favorite guys to chat with, and it's just fun, So hey, let's talk about these package plus. So these package pluses, I think, are so far better than regular package bees, like head and shoulders, in my opinion, better. So we were trying to think of a name last night at 3 a.m. out in my yard, right under the night lights, me and Mark, on what to call them. So we were sitting there. I said, well, it's kind of like a package. You're getting the same amount of bees, plus you get the frames and, already cap brood, or, you're getting drawn comb, you're getting cap brood, you're getting, basically all stages of larva, and you're getting some food. So it's a package plus. So that's how it came up with package plus. So I think if you have a bee club or something like that, or if you just want to get a bunch of packages, or you want to resell packages, you need to contact Mark Andrews at Sourwoods, because so he's doing a 3-frame package, and it comes with the queen, everything. And I mean, they explode very quickly. They've already got some comb, so they don't have as much comb to establish right out of the gate, and they work really well. And he delivered. I've bought this year 40 of them. Actually 39, because he brought 19 last night, not 20, but 39. And I've been happy with them. The ones that I've kept have exploded. The ones I've sold have made me money. So it's worked out, But now, are you on the phone? You're muted.
And now I'm not. I see where Jason got those 2 framers from Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's doing good. She's doing great. So that's great.
Yeah, it's a great.
And then Jason also got a local government certificate, I guess you would call it, on his website.
What was it they said on A Christmas Story? It's a prestigious award, or the lamp, fragile. Oh, I think it's Italian, fragile. But hey, Jason, if you want to pop in here and explain your challenge there, your swarm challenge, feel free to come on in, man. Anybody, click the link. Let's go. Let's talk. Let's chat some bees. I got at least another 45 minutes in me. I got the that'll take me to 11 o'clock, and then I've got to probably bug out and go to work in the morning,
Yeah, same here.
And so it's just been one of those, another crazy day in the bee yard.
Yeah.
And I've got
I didn't do anything in the bee yard today. I did everything yesterday.
And we were out there at 3:30 this morning, Charlie.
I thought you were going to wait till in the morning.
Well, we were going to wait in the morning. And then I said, well, what do you think it's going to be like when the sun's up and we start putting these in? And we got 20 of them, and bees are flying everywhere and don't know where their home is. So they said, well, after we talked until 3, then he's like, well, we could just unscrew these and go ahead and set them on their boxes in their location, and then just pop the screen open and let them fly out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we did. And then he got a room because it was so late, and came back in the morning and we put them all in, and then talked another couple hours. But the hey, here we go. Jason.
There he is.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Exhausted.
Yeah, like
you
everybody
look like
else.
Tired. Understatement in my world.
I don't think it's hard to explain the whole YouTube thing and everything, right? So you put in your day job, you got a regular job, right?
Yep.
Then you got your bee store, you've got you do classes and learning yard stuff.
Yep.
Oh, and then you got to actually keep your bees.
Yep.
And do all that stuff. And then, by the way, I'm filming videos and editing those too. Right. So you've got a ton of stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that's the half of it. Because my, kids, they play ball, and, you got that going on. And then you've got, I'm involved in my local lodge, and I'm a board member on different things. And so it's just a lot, but it's I'm one of those people that say you sleep when you die.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, eventually at some point we hope that we're doing all this now, so maybe later on we can take it a little bit easier.
You got it.
So it's kind of like planning for that retirement.
Yeah, I had Sybil over, Charlie.
Oh yeah.
Was it Friday? Was it Friday afternoon? Yes, Friday afternoon. and she was going through my hives and such, and she was like, she was done. She was writing up the sheet to, to give me, and she goes, "How many hives did you say you had?" And I was like, "I don't know." So we had to go count how many hives I had. I forgot because I had no idea, and I ended up with 86. I think it was. I don't even remember. I think it was 86. And she's like, "Wait a minute, you got a full-time job?" I said, "Yes, I do." And she's like, "You are crazy."
Yeah.
I said, "Yes, I am."
Yeah, I just officially today with the nukes that I put in have, by the definition, now it's sideliner, right? So I've gone over 50. So it's
It's chicken math, man. It's chicken math. Charlie, you have a ton, and Bob. Now this year, you've been doing so many splits and nukes and things like that. It's chicken math. You get over 25, it's like, okay,
stop counting. I just stopped counting. Really,
you have so many that you get to the point to when you're inspecting them, you don't inspect it like a normal hobbyist beekeeper inspects. If you know what I'm saying, you can literally inspect a hive in less than 2 minutes if you're that.
Yeah, there's egg. She's in there. Yep. Put it back. They're good to go.
Like the 5 things in your head that you can go check, and you're good. Move. Next, check, move. And you just keep going. That's when you watch some of these commercial guys that work these larger fields than that to do 500, whatever plus. Even talking like Jason Huff out in Wood Camp, Charlie. He goes for his.
I've never met him.
You never met him? He's a good dude. He's a good dude. He's Western Maryland, but he's got he runs he's like that like. Well, he's not really much sideliner. He definitely is full scale commercial, but he runs 500 plus hives, I believe 600. I don't even know, somewhere in there. But watching him inspect is it's fascinating to watch him go through them. Knows what they're looking for.
But now when like you were saying inspection, I guess you're going in there and only doing certain key points at the time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if you see eggs, all right, I already got a queen. I don't need to go any farther. Yeah. But if depending on what
you had her within 24 hours, right?
Yeah. I mean, I have a checklist in my head. It's activity in the front of the hive. You lift the lid. I use the screen inner, so I look at volume of bees, and then I pull a couple frames in, and I see eggs, larvae in all stages, and then I check for pests and stores, wait on stores, and I'm on the next one. And I'll know, mental note, what I need to do there. What's my biggest pain point in this hive? Is it the volumes going sideways? Is it the stores are too low, or do I have queen cells that I need to take care of? I just mark off in my head what the biggest problem is, address that biggest problem. Because if I took notes on every little thing and tried to address every little issue with every hive, I would take hours going through my hives, hours.
Yep.
And I can't. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Livestock. It's the notion of it's because I can fix that hive faster than a hobbyist can fix their hives. So if a hobbyist has 2 or 3 hives or 4 hives or whatever, 5, even 10, and something's going sideways with hive number 2 or number 8 or whatever, they don't always have as many resources at their fingertips to be able to fix that hive. And they've got to really dissect and understand what's going on with that one hive to fix the problem. Where I've got 50 other hives I can replace, combine, split, and that's the difference between what you, Charlie, you have a ton of hives. You can fix your a problem in a finger.
Yeah, about 30, 32 right now or something like that.
Even still, I mean, when you got more than 25, like I said, it becomes chicken math at that point.
Yeah, so like last night when we were putting these nukes in, right? Mm-hmm. Or this morning we were putting the nukes in, we saw that some of them were a little bit lighter on bees than other ones. So what we would do is we'd pull it out when we were putting it in. We would locate the queen, obviously, in the, it's 3 frames, not that hard to find. So you find her, great, she's going in her new box. Any of those straggler bees on like the stronger 3 framers that were in the box, instead of dumping them back, we just took what was residual in the box, bang the box down, and dump it in the weak one, right? So it's the same thing. If you've got a weak colony and you're doing inspections, you can take a pro nuke or something with you. Oh, well, that needs some brood. Okay, here's some extra brood. You just put that to the side, and then you just go back and drop it in, right? So where you have 1 or 2, then it's like if you don't have those resources to spread out as much.
And when we were starting beekeeping, all of us started at some point. Raise your hand if you were afraid to even mix a colony. without properly introducing or properly putting the paper between. And, excuse me. I'm throwing frames of brood, frames of bees all around, shaking bees off other things. I mean, it's amazing how when you get to that amount of time, you have problems, how you're those fears of what kept you from managing your hives when you're a hobbyist go away.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing. I've grown personally because of that. I literally was scared to death to take a frame from another colony and stick it in another colony.
I literally
oh my God.
took a whole queen right nuke and there was a poor colony and it went queenless. And I just took the whole nuke and dropped it right in the middle. Took 5 frames out, dropped the whole 5-frame nuke right in the middle of it. Boom. They took off, and
the strangest thing.
And Mark said the same thing yesterday, about the introduction of the queens. He said, well, just time it, man. If you're going to replace that queen, just pull her out, go over to the other colony, put that queen right in. No problem. They're not going to reject her because she's a laying queen and she's going to walk around and do her thing. And, so I'm like,
yeah. Well, I think a lot of it when you're a beginner is the fact you're told all this stuff in these classes.
Right. You are. You're told.
Then you get to talking to like people like Brad and all these commercial guys, and then like Bob Benny I think it was Bob. One of his videos, he was talking. I think Keith Del Plain, where they found that mixing bees like that is actually beneficial.
It is, yeah.
And all.
I think you're right. You're right, Charlie. I think a lot of it as a new beekeeper or a hobbyist, they go to these classes, they go to the bee clubs, and they get told to essentially to not do so many things, not test. And I don't blame them because they don't want to lose those 2 hives. They don't want to lose the 5 hives. They don't want to make mistakes.
Then the best way to do it is when you put it in there, don't touch them. Just leave it alone.
Yeah. So to me, I get so many people who are like, oh, I think, my nuke went, queenless and, she was a virgin and I don't know what to do. I think I need a queen. I was like, no, just leave it alone, dude. Leave it alone for, 10, 15 days. Come back and look at it. And you'll be shocked. You'll find that queen running around mated, laying eggs in 2 weeks. Just leave her alone, right? We always try to micromanage our hives, and we just got to let them be.
The bees be bees.
Let the bees be, and they will do it. They will. Now, some of them will go sideways. You just fix them when you get to that point. If you see something.
That's the lady that came and picked up a nuke from me yesterday. She's like, how long can I leave it in this box? I said, as long as you can stand to leave them in this nuke. Yeah. You can let them get packed out before you move them to the 10 frame, as compared to going right home and dropping them in a 10 frame. And then they've got all of this space with nothing to do. Let them build up a little bit stronger in that nuke box and then move them over.
Dude, that honestly, Bob, that is probably the biggest mistake that I see people make, is that they give bees too much space because they're so afraid of the swarm. They're so afraid of what they don't know how to control, and they think the bees need all that space to grow. Your bees need to be the volume. The bee volume needs to be commensurate with the box that they're in and what you want them to do. If it's the beginning of April and you've got a 5-frame nuke that's boiling over in a 5-frame box, it's going to swarm. That's obvious, right? Put it in a 10-frame box. Don't give it 20 frames. Why would you put it in a Taj Mahal?
Yeah, they buy the hive kit and then they go home and put the whole thing together and it looks like Trump Tower.
I know.
I just seen a video. The guy did exactly that, where he put a nuke in a 10-frame box and then he put the second box on top of it. And I wrote in there, I says, build out the bottom box first and then put the other one on.
Yeah.
And all.
But that's we all did it, right? The same thing. How do you feel about this? Because I had this discussion at 3 a.m. with Mark. I was like, I see people that get packages. I've never bought a package, so this is just my thought process. So I'm speaking off the cuff here, so take it for what it's worth. So people do the same thing, right? They're brand new. They get a package and they go home and they drop it right in a 10-frame box with no comb, just foundation, and now they have nothing but 10 frames, right? And you would think that would be like an overwhelming amount of space for a package because they've got nothing. So wouldn't it be better if you were getting a package to go ahead and put that package in a 5-frame box and let them draw the 5? Go ahead.
Or Charlie knows where I'm getting ready to say. Or put in a 5/5.
Right.
Put in a 5/5. Dump your box, take your nuke box, put your 5 frames in the bottom. If you got drawn comb, great. Right? If you got resources, great. Take the other 5-frame box, put it right on top, as now it's like a chimney, right?
Right.
And dump that all it is into the box as you're doing there. Stick your queen down in there, stick the 5 frames of undrawn on top, or whatever you have, and close it up. And then let your queen get released. And I guarantee you that you will see that hive boom faster than 10 frames in a traditional deep, or 5
Absolutely.
open. Yep. And Charlie
Absolutely.
knows.
I did that with that.
I learned that 2 or 3 years ago, that the secret of 5 frame over 5 frame, or 4 frame over 4 frame, or whatever it is, the chimney effect is so amazing. It's just, I can't explain it. I wish I could. It's just so amazing.
You're what do we call it? Harnessing the
natural instinct of the bee.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The chimney effect. Yeah.
And I tell people, it was a cold, I got a package of bees and it was cold. And of course I was running medium stuff. So I had medium nukes and I threw 3 pounds of bees in a 1-story medium 5-frame nuke. Some guys told me, "Oh, you can't get all them bees." And I said, "Well, they are all in there.
They're going to cluster up.
And they like it that way.
They like it that way." And I don't think I had drawn comb at the time. I'm not sure. Closed them up, fed them. You've manipulated them bees to where you've forced them to just focus on them 5 frames.
You got it.
And they'll draw that out in no time short. And then like you say, put another 5 frame on top of them. You might even maybe bring if there's some brood in there by that time, let's say 1 frame up.
Yep.
And they'll draw the rest of that wax out on that, let's, go up instead of out principle. And I tell people, I says, you ought to start out with a 5/5 nuke and not a 10 frame box.
Well, but they don't tell you that when you go to the bee store. Most of them, right? They're like,
a lot of folks, I've already bought this, the 10 frame, setup. And it's like, well, the 5 frame, you need to be a graduation situation here.
Right.
And they don't want to put the money out. I said, beekeeping's expensive. You just, buy, this is what you have to really do it right.
And that's the other thing when people, so they've got 2 options when they come here right now to buy a nuke. You're either going to get it in a pro nuke, or I'll discount you if you want to put it in your own equipment, right? Well, I'll move it into your box. You can carry your box home. But the thing is, we got a 10 frame box, and then they got the bottom board and the top and everything, right? So now it's like, then you got to worry about the bottom and the box staying together because there's no weight in there really, right? And then the top and everything in their vehicle. So it's like,
I'll tell you one thing that I hear what you're saying on that, Bob. But and actually Sybil confirmed this for me when we were talking the other day about this. The notion of having someone bring your own box to pick your nuke up. 2 reasons I discourage that. And I said this to her, and I said, would you agree with me? And she said, Sybil Preston is our state apiarist for Maryland. So I asked her this question because I've had some debate on it locally about it. And I said, BYOB, bring your own box, right? And or, kind of a scenario. I said, well, 2 reasons I don't like that. 1, I like to build my nukes out to where they're the capacity of what I want to release. And then I want to close them up the night before so the foragers aren't out. So when you come the next day, we can pick up that closed nuke in the morning. You take it home. And if you don't want the box, I'll give you a discount. I'll give you a credit back, whatever. But you take what I release. I know what's in that nuke. I know what I locked up, and I know what I sent home with you. The second reason why I don't like BYOB is you bring your BYO box, you keep your shit at your space. I don't want your stuff coming to my space and putting your box in my bees or my apiary, because who knows what you have on your box. Who knows why your bees died last year and why you're coming to buy bees from me before? Where did you get that equipment from? If you don't know that history, I don't want that anywhere in my apiary, because that could be a business-ending event for me. You bring a nuke box, you set it down on mine, I start transferring equipment over. Next thing you know, I got AFB in my equipment or near my equipment, and I got a problem that's a business-ending event for me. And I know that's rare, but I just don't want to risk that. I'd rather lock and load, send them home, and then they they're on their way. That's just my perspective on it. I know that people do it, and I'm not
Well,
saying it's a bad thing, but
well, mainly because when I started buying these nukes, I bought pro nukes, but then I sold the first round, and I'm running real low on pro nukes now. So it's like, if I still want to sell these nukes, then you either got to bring your box, or you're getting.
I can get you a bunch of pro nukes. I know a guy that near me that actually bought a whole pallet of them, and every time I need pro nukes, I just go get a bunch from him. So, and I got a bunch in my shed too as well. So we got tons of pro nukes.
Well, Man Lake was selling for like $20 a piece, and that's kind of steep.
Yeah. Well, if you can buy them in the pallet, you can get them for like 14.
Well, James bought a pallet at Hive Life for $9 a piece.
I wish,
but it was $400. I mean, 400 pro nukes. So he paid $5,000, but I mean, he still got them for $9 a piece. So
anything like that you can buy in bulk is always good. Frames, anything. Pro nukes is always good, but you got to be able to put that investment into it. So not everybody can do that.
Yep. And that would be me at the moment.
Well, that's all of us. I mean, we all have, we got a beekeeping store. Like I said before, I was joking on there about taking over. I said, I got to step it up a gear and get, because Man Lake is, Charlie's prediction is they're going to go out of business. I said, well, I better step it up a gear. But I'll tell you, it takes money to make money in this business as much as it's an expensive hobby.
Oh yeah.
And in order to have the equipment, in order to be able to stock the things that you need in every version and every size and this, that, and the other, it takes a lot of capital to do that. So
that's
tough.
That's the thing, and I go to my local bee store, which I won't name, but I go there and I'm like, hey, I need frames. Oh, we're waiting on a shipment to come in. Okay. Call them back 2 weeks later. Hey, you got your frame? Did your shipment come in? No, we haven't got our shipment yet. Call them back 2 weeks after that. So now I'm a month and a half in, right? And I'm like, hey, you have a case of medium plastic frames? Oh yeah, we got one. So now when I said, oh great, I'm on my way to get it. So in my mind, I'm like, they must have got their shipment in. Nope. Because I was going to buy the rest of the frames I needed when I went there, but they didn't have them. So I just got what they had. So,
yeah.
So it must be Canadian math.
Let me tell you about my contests, because let's just say I already have results.
Well, so here's the thing. Honestly, you didn't, and tell me if I'm lying, you did not talk to me. I didn't know anything about what lures are in what boxes. I don't know if mine's one of them or not one of them. I assume it is because I know you carry it. But
I won't confirm. I won't confirm which lures I used or which box I used them in. I know. And interestingly enough, both boxes have results almost immediately, which was so bizarre. I've never seen that before. And I won't. And when I record the results, this first round results, because remember I did which one got the first and which one will get the most. I got to go tomorrow to check to make sure they're full swarms, because they arrived today. It's been less than 24 hours in both boxes, and if they're full swarms in both boxes, well then that's credence to whatever lures are in both boxes. I know which one arrived first, and I know which one arrived second. I'm going to get those out, get them settled in if they're both full swarms with queen right swarms. And then I'm going to recharge everything back up again the same way and just continue the process for the next 2-3 weeks. And at the end of that, I'm going to basically give the results and say what happened, what was in what box, when, where, and how, and who came first. So again, I'm not going to confirm, because I don't want to put anything out there and be biased towards any particular lure. But good news story. If I happen to use your lure, Bob, I will tell you that I've had early good results, but I'm not going to say which one is which and if I did or didn't use it. So, because I don't want to be biased to challenge.
And that breaks the system of picking which one arbitrarily. Right. So
yeah, I don't want.
It's a blind study.
It's a blind study. I just and you know what's crazy is it will absolutely be the result of the lures. It makes the result of the test.
They're literally, it seems like they're about 6 to 10 feet apart.
They're about 10 feet apart. They're the same exact height, charged the exact same way, the exact same boxes, exact same frames, set up at least. The only difference is the sticker on the front and the lure that I used. That's it. So,
well, hey, if it is in fact one of if my lure is in one of them, and I don't know, he hasn't told me, he won't tell me. I don't want to know. I want to be on the edge, pins and cushions. I mean, I kind of want to know, but I mean, but at the same time, if mine is one, and let's say it is the, I don't know that it's the other big name swarm lure on the market or not, but the if it is that one, it's at least as good in the first round. So, so hey,
I will say no more. I will say no more.
But
yeah, that's the contest. So if people can want to go out, there's a poll now on my community, and you can vote for which one, little logo, big logo, which one you think is going to catch the first swarm, which I know which one it is. But the first swarm, so again, I've already spilled the beans on a little bit of the results, which is I've got a potentially a swarm catch in both boxes, potentially. I don't know that. I don't know if it's a full swarm or if it was a heavy scout or if it was a split swarm, or I don't know. And tomorrow I will validate which box. I know which one saw the most amount of activity first, and I know which box saw activity second, and I know that at the end of the day, there were bees in both boxes. Now, are they full swarms? What are they? I don't know. Look at that tomorrow, and I'll tally it up. But go out and vote if people are watching. And I think what I might do is randomly choose someone who's commented on the thread below with a vote somehow. I don't care. If someone picks the right one, then I'll randomly choose and maybe give them like a bottle of swarm lure, a bottle.
They got to win. They got to win, man, because you can't give a participation trophy out. It's got to be somebody.
If someone picks it, the first swarm and as well as the most amount of swarms, I'll definitely send something their way. I'm already doing that other contest too. I did one where if you have a picture, I think you posted a couple ones on there, and hashtag Bohemia Bees. Where I'm giving away I think it's like a gift card to my store and other things, and a gift box, a choice, I guess, too. I'll do both, one or the other, right?
Yep. But well, anyway. If get with me at some point after you release the results, if in fact mine is one of the ones you have to give something away with, then I'll donate that.
Yep, so, I'll let you know what it is, and like I said, if it is or it isn't.
If it's not, then
what I do want to do is I want to buy a bottle of that. You need to brand that differently though. That swarm concentrate, I was confused. I was like, is this concentrated swarm lure? I really like that. And then you're like, no, it's like BB Gone. And I'm thinking to myself, well, shoot, I can't tell you how many times I do cutouts, and I'm putting using my BB Gone or my the other stuff that I try all different ones when I clear my supers on fume boards. If you've got something that's a concentrate that can put into supers and clear supers, and also spray in cavities when I do cutouts, and also spray on tree limbs when I think Charlie, you said that. That's freaking brilliant. I mean, I didn't even think of that. Like if I got a swarm that lands on a tree branch and you do the shake, and
I did it yesterday on a live video.
Yeah, and then just take a little bit of that in the spray bottle and mist it on that tree where they don't come.
Instead of using smoke, like most people do. Yeah. They missed the boat here. We can use.
Well, even when you smoke them, they still tend to go back to that branch where that pheromone is and go back to the branch. So you shake it down and you spray that on there, they won't go back to it. They might land somewhere else, but they're not going there.
Is the product that it is? It just says Swarm Rustler concentrate though. It almost feels like it's a swarm lure.
No, it says Honey Rustler.
Honey Rustler instead of Swarm Rustler. Okay. Yep.
Still got the same guy on it because that's like the brand logo, right?
Yeah. Okay, that's where I missed. That's where I missed the message. So it's Honey Rustler.
Honey Rustler.
Got it. And those will clear supers for me on fume boards.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna order a bottle as soon as I get off here.
Okay.
Because I can use a lot of that in a.
It's still pre-order, but the first 50 are done. So I just haven't changed the website.
Well, just put my little name. Put my little name on one of the bottles because I'm definitely ordering it when I get off because I need to. I'm almost out of a lot of the Swarm. Be Gone, and I got a couple different ones I've tried over the years, and I could always use something that's and I'll try it out.
So how is now at Hive Life? Obviously, you carry Swarm Rustler, and I came by your booth and pimp sold whatever you want to call it at the show. How's it gone since then with the lure sales? Have you been selling some of it?
Yeah, it's definitely timing. It's right now it's great because people are coming in and they're picking up their bees or it's swarm season right now. So people ask me, hey, what are you using, kind of thing. And if I got that there, I mean, I'm going to sell it because I'm already vested in it. Right?
Would you like a fresh hot apple pie with that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I have the new swarm traps, which I talked about on the video. They're wax dipped, so it's the same ones that I had at Hive Life, but they're now fully wax dipped. The whole thing is wax dipped, so you don't have to paint them, which is huge. I mean, they're a couple dollars more, but I mean, I
It's
hate
worth it.
swarm trap boxes.
The time alone is worth it if it's only a couple dollars more.
Exactly. So yeah, I got it, but I don't ship them. Unfortunately, you'd have to come pick them up. I won't ship those swarm traps. That's why I brought a ton to Hive Life because I wasn't. They're so expensive to ship. It's not even worth it for me to sell them. So,
well, as my product line grows, maybe we'll talk as it gets closer to Hive Life. Maybe I come and sit with you at your booth, man, and just hustle.
I don't know what I'm doing at Hive Life next year. Like, I mean, that was overwhelming, dude. I will tell you, that was a lot of work. I didn't even get to enjoy the conference at all. I literally never left that booth, and I brought a ton of swarm traps, sold every single one of them, sold some Be Smart design stuff, but brought a ton of equipment back home. And I wouldn't say it was positive. It wasn't lucrative at the end of the day because I felt like I missed the experience of Hive Life. So I'm weighing my decision on whether I want to have a refinement of the booth. I might focus on Queen Right dial next year or some other way, and swarm traps, maybe just something basic, not do a lot of stuff like I did this past time. We'll see. I mean, it's going to depend on what I can get done. I might change completely. I might go back and do the same thing and just have more stuff. Who knows?
Brian wants me to do a No Life Beekeeper booth.
There you go.
Where we just stream from the No Life Beekeeper booth the whole time.
You need to get a booth that has little couches and chairs, and everybody's just sitting there chilling and streaming the whole time and talking.
And then in the back, it has to pay for itself, right? So I put it in the back with an ATM, so people that are spending their money at the show, I can reap some ATM fees or something. just kidding with that one, but hey, Hive Life for this year for me, because I didn't even know I was going till like the last minute, so that hence the shirt and walking around talking to vendors about getting the product out there, right? And I mean, for a first year, it did pretty good, kind of last minute thing, and a lot of people are tagging me in swarm videos and pictures and stuff like that. So it's definitely helping get the product out there. There's not a bunch of there's certain people that are carrying it that may not be carrying it in the future. I'll just say it that way, not to put anybody on blast, but they're doing some things that I don't agree with. And Jason, you wouldn't agree with either. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you how this went down. Jason put me in check when he started carrying my product. He's like, hey, man, if I'm carrying this product, you can't be selling it for less than what you're telling me I got to sell it for. Right. I said, absolutely right. And I immediately changed the website.
And if you change yours and you reduce it down the price, then recognize the fact that people have inventory out there that paid a certain price for it that need to cover that cost first. And then if the next round goes out and you want to reduce your price, and you're like, look, we're gonna change it to whatever price, then we'll reduce our prices too, because I don't want to compete against the person who's making it and selling it.
Right. Well, see, now I'm competing against somebody that bought it from me.
Yeah.
And is whoring it out, for a lack of a better word, right? And they were like, well, if I continue to make my own price, will you sell it to me? I said, no.
Well, that's part of the business relationship you have in place. You have certain things that you have an agreement with them that they won't sell it below a certain price, and you got to get that in your contract. I mean, that's a whole wholesale/retail, pricing agreement that you have with, and that's a whole other discussion.
Well, they didn't even have the suggested retail on the site, right? It was just their price.
When you think about it, I do that with honey, right? So I sell at a couple local stores around here, wholesale, and then they retail it. And I tell them a suggested retail price, but I don't tell them they can't go above that. I mean, I will tell you, there are people that sell my honey for $29 to $28 to $29 for a 2-pound bottle. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, that's crazy. I'd love
Makes
to
you real think you need to jack your price up a
I
little bit.
know. I'm like, I should increase my prices, but I don't, because I've always kept my prices where they have been. I've never lowered them. I raised them when I think around 2020. I raised them up about $1 to try to normalize it with all the supply chain issues that I was having with bottles and everything else. I tried to normalize it that way, but I've not raised it since, and I don't plan on it. Right? I mean, I don't plan on reducing it either. And if my if my honey sits on the shelf, then it sits on the shelf. It's worth too much to me based on the amount of time and effort that goes into getting that product to market than to just start to fire sale my honey off just to move it. I just don't see that. It doesn't make sense. I'd rather write the date on it from the year that it was harvested, stock it away, and when someone goes, oh, you know what? That honey you had 3 years ago from 2020 or 2021, that was really good. Do you have any more left? Yes, I do. I have a couple bottles right here.
Well, the other thing is you don't know what next year's honey flow is going to be like.
You don't know what it's going to taste like. I have honey from 2021 fall that I will tell you what, I have a gallon of it left, and it's like liquid gold. It came out of a sunflower pumpkin field. Charlie, you tasted it, right? Remember that stuff you tasted in the Maxant hybrid tank thing that I had? Did you try that?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Sunflower pumpkin honey, dude. I ain't kidding you. That is, in my opinion, one of the best honeys I've ever tasted, next to like blueberry honey. It's just crazy. It was, and I won't ever get that ever again. So,
but because honey doesn't go bad unless it just tastes bad from the beginning, then it's just bad all the way around. But since it doesn't go bad, if you have a really good year this year, for you to fire sell your honey just to get rid of it, next year you may not get as much honey, and you might need the honey surplus from this year to carry you through next year.
That's right.
So for me, that's why my price is the price. I don't discount it, and
some things I will, like discount it on, equipment's different than honey. To me, honey is so unique and rare each year, each harvest, that it's like wine, as people kind of refer to it. It's just so unique. You'll never get that again.
I tasted a gallberry honey.
What is
today.
it?
Gallberry, Gall, gallberry. Mark brought me a bottle from his stuff. So Mark has hives in Florida and he has hives in Virginia. So he went down and got his stuff out of Florida and brought me a bottle. That was the honey he was getting out of Florida. And I tasted some saw palmetto, like palm tree honey. And it was
good for your prostate.
What's that?
Saw palmetto is good for your prostate. I don't know about saw palmetto honey, but
it had a different taste to it, but it was good.
Just my parents would bring saw palmetto back from Florida. It's pretty good. I mean, to me, did you see Bruce talk about on this show the other day? They talked about that almond honey he sent me.
No, I didn't see that part.
Okay, so on the stream, Bruce, I've been bugging Bruce for 2 years now since he's been sending his hives to California. And I said, I've heard that almond honey is a very much an acquired taste, and that many of the beekeepers who harvest the honey from their almond crop they just feed it back to their bees. They don't even sell it. And I was like, it can't be that bad. Like, honey's honey, right? Even fructose-based honey still tastes okay. There's nothing good about it, right? It's sold in the stores every day. Have you ever had almond honey, Charlie?
No.
Well, I've been told this. So I said to Bruce, well, I know you send your bees to the almonds. I said, can you pull off a little bit of honey and send it to me when you get them back? And he said he was going to do it last year, and I think he got caught up and didn't really have a chance to do it. Well, they came back this year, and he said, I'm going to get a little bit of jar of almond honey, at least what I believe to be almond honey, and send it to Jason. So he did, and I will tell you, it is an acquired taste. It's not bad.
but it's not good at your first taste.
It's not good. It's not great. It's one of those types of honeys that you kind of go, and go, ooh. You know what I mean? It's like that. You're going, ooh. And that's about the reaction.
Right.
It starts off like it's almost like a maple syrupy taste, but then it just hits you with the tartness at the end. So it kind of goes, ooh. Yeah, not so much. So that's I guess that's the rub, is that people don't like that kind of
it's
at the end, maybe.
It's against the normal, right? It's something outside of what they're used to. So it's like, I don't know about that honey.
Yeah. When you're here, Charlie, for the BBQ, if you come by, I'll let you taste it if I still have it. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. So
that honey that Bob Binney had was mountain laurel honey that he didn't. It was a little bit toxic to humans and said tastes nasty. And
well, there's people that don't like the honeydew spotted lanternfly honey. There's people that loathe that. Like Sybil said the other day on Friday, she's like, I can't stand spotted lanternfly honey. And we have Pennsylvania, the guys in Pennsylvania, in most parts at least, get a lot of that late fall harvest or that late summer harvest. They'll get a lot of the spotted lanternfly honey, and it has almost like a burnt,
smoky taste.
Smoky taste, yeah, it's like a smoky burnt taste to it. I personally think it's pretty good. I didn't mind.
Yeah, the guy that was at the barbecue,
Yeah.
he gave us a bottle out, each of us. Yeah. It's got a sort of an aftertaste.
It's almost now that I've had almond honey, it kind of reminds me of the almond honey, but it doesn't have the tart on the back end. It has just that smoky kind of aftertaste on the back end. So it's not bad.
That's the so what do you got coming up, Jason? You're obviously working on the swarm challenge. What about your pollination?
So pollination is building. I've got hives on strawberries, or we're on strawberries. They're probably done now. I got to get them probably in the next week or two down in Bridgeville, Maryland. So I got to pull them back up, and there's not that many. There's just a few down there. But I do have the carts that I've been building out. You saw a video I've had, and you've seen in pictures and videos. I've got a total of 4 pollination carts now, and I've been slowly cycling them through the refinishing phase. So I've got a guy locally here that's stripping them down, repainting them. They came from a commercial beekeeper guy in Lower Maryland that has been doing commercial beekeeping for years. Oliver Collins, he built all the carts, and I been buying them one by one from Delaware Bay Bees, which is Eric Thompson in Lower Delaware. And because he used to do that for pollination. That's how he used to do pollination, was on these carts. And then he started palletizing everything and sending it to South Carolina and other places down south. And he's been running pallets rather than not running the trailers. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to palletize stuff and ship it out like that. I want to have some control over it, where it's at. And I want to be able to pull a cart of, 10, 20 hives, go to an apple orchard local, go to a garden center, go to wherever I need and park it, watermelons locally, strawberries, what have you.
Just drop it off for a few weeks and then go
park
pick
it
it
for a
back
couple
up.
Weeks, be able to go down and check on it locally, and then come pick it back up, bring it back home, and manage them the way I want to manage them. But so I've been working through trying to build those out. I got a grant that I applied for in Maryland, which I was so excited about, that helped subsidize one of the trailers because I had purchased Apame equipment from Apame. I was at the conference because I want to outfit one of the pollination carts with Apame equipment and then put it in my pollination run. So where I have traditional equipment that's normally used versus Apame equipment, let it run through the pollination cycle and then bring it back and see if it overwinters as a pollination hive versus traditional equipment. If there's any benefit that I see versus traditional equipment. Also, just, do they bring in more honey on the pollination route? Is the survivability, on the pollination route better? Whatever changes. So I've been building that test card out. Just getting that going. So just a
was
little
that a local local county grant, Cecil County grant?
Cecil County. It was a Cecil County. It was an agricultural Cecil County. I'm trying to think of the name of the grant now. That it was. It wasn't for a ton of money. I spent way more on the Apame equipment in the trailer for the project. It just subsidized a portion of it, and because I'm doing
I've gotten a few of them myself.
Yeah, the grants are great. You can't. A lot of times the grants are you got to put the money out and then you apply for the grant, and if you get approved, then you get reimbursed. So it's not exactly it's not like you can just fill out a form and someone sends you a cash money. It's not like that. A lot of times involved. Yep. So
yeah, I had to write up a grant paper and tell them the price of what the stuff I wanted, and then they gave a portion. They gave you a portion of it.
Yep. And everyone's different, right? They're all different. Maryland has some good grant programs, but Cecil County, this was one that they had just tried to do, and the process was, it was good. I mean, I would say it's competitive, but it was somewhat competitive, and I think it was because of my first year applying for it and what it was for, and because it wasn't for traditional agricultural stuff, it was for something unique. They it probably weighed in my favor a little bit, so I was excited. Will I get it next year? I have no idea. I'll apply for it again, maybe, to help try to minimize the costs, because the amount.
How many of them trailers does that guy still have?
Well, Oliver Collins had at one point, a fleet of them, and then he's been selling them off or dismantling some. I don't know what he has left. I know that Eric had a bunch, and I don't know how many Eric has left. He's been selling a few of them off. He still has a bunch. At least I thought he did. And so I have a total of 4 of them from him. I'm actually considering, and this is not, something that I'm completely sold on yet. This was something that I was considering, because I have a guy here that can help me build them. There's probably some enhancements I would make to those trailers. As much as Oliver is sort of a brilliant beekeeper and he built those trailers by hand, there are a few things that I would do a little differently, that would make them more functional, inspection wise, the ease of inspection, just different other ways of kind of tweaking them. So I thought of drawing up plans for one, and then making one as a prototype, and then offering it as for sale to other people in the area or in the community or whoever that would want to see, once I've kind of gone through the angst of trying to get it tweaked the right way, because I'm kind of limited on the way the carts are set up now, because that's how Oliver set them up. So I'm sort of kind of toying with that idea, but I've got a billion irons in the fire, and as I told you, I'm already exhausted before I started. So to start another little project would probably be, so
yeah,
that's what we do.
That's what we do.
That's how we do it.
But I think that would be cool to see that. I'd love to be able to provide, much like the, the lift that showed up at Hive Life last year, that Ian uses.
Yeah.
Easy loader. I'd love to be able to create a trailer like that trailer like I have, like the trailers I have, but with tweaks. Because again, I wouldn't want the same exact trailer, because I think there are things that maybe Oliver didn't think about, or maybe he just didn't think he could do at the time, or maybe just, again, everybody's perspective is different, that you could tweak that current design to make them a little more easier to use. I would probably want to design a trailer, outfit it with equipment, and then sell the unit. And so you put your bees in it, and then you've got a trailer to take to pollination, right? Just have a package deal, whether you want the trailer only, or equipment and trailer, something like that. I would love to pull one to Hive Life and just show people that trailer. I thought about that this next year. Come in, just bring in a pollination trailer fully outfitted, and just let people look at it and ask questions, and instead of trying to sell something necessarily, but who knows? Something different.
Yeah, it'd be like the guy that had the app or that trailer. They had all the beehives. I think what do you call these type of hives? They had them like
the AZ. Yep, the AZ style Slovenian trailer. Yeah, I walked through his trailer, and I'll be honest, what he was trying to sell those trailers for,
35 grand, 40 grand.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty darn good price for what you're getting. I mean, I know what an enclosed trailer costs. I've bought several of them, and I just, for what he's getting and the setup in there, and I don't know. When I looked at it, it looked like for 35 grand to have all those hives in there, what you could do with that. My only concern with that is you'd have to have a good circulation of air, because I don't know if everybody's been inside of an enclosed trailer in summertime. It's not exactly. You will have bees bearding like crazy on the side of that thing to get out, and then the side of it's metal, and what bees are going to want to be on the side of a metal trailer. So I guess I get where he was going with it, and it made sense. Maybe in the cooler climates or something, it may make sense, milder climates, but in the heat of the summer, yeah, that's going to be tough. So
well, we're straight up 11 o'clock.
Oh shoot, yeah, it is 11 o'clock.
So I know I have to work tomorrow. Jason's got to work tomorrow, and Charlie's got to work tomorrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the broadcast now. I appreciate all you guys, but thanks for coming and hanging out. And we, Tuesday night, where were we at Tuesday night? Lee's channel?
I don't know.
Or were we on Lee's last week? I don't know, either Lee's or my channel. So watch your notification, and we'll be over there.
I'll pop on that time if enjoy the conversation, and guys, when I can catch up with you again.
Hey, when will your update video be out? Do you know? Have an idea?
Well, I want to give it at least a week or two to see what happens. Well, I need to see tomorrow if they're true swarms in the boxes tomorrow. Then that kind of gets the contest right rolling, because I wasn't confident that it was going to do anything for a few days, and to have that result already was like, wow, okay, so now I got to really get going with this. I got to get those out of there so I can continue to see if I catch additional ones, because I have a big tree line that runs along the back of my apiary that I know I have, the giving tree, as I like to call it, in my tree line.
Did you give to the tree before the tree started giving to you?
Oh, I know I did. My first few, I absolutely gave to the trees my first few years. I know I'm pretty diligent about them now. I'm in my hives often enough that if something swarms, it'll be pretty shocking that it does. So I know that the swarms that come to my apiary now are because I have 80 some colonies sitting around, and they smell all the propolis, they smell the hives, they smell it's just like a magnet for swarms, which is another interesting.
So, I don't think that was what they meant when they said sustainable apiary. Was the first 5 years you're in beekeeping that you donate to the trees, and then the next 20 years the trees donate back to your apiary.
That's working for me though. I'm not complaining.
Hey, whatever works.
But I'll go years where I won't have any swarms come. I'll get one giant swarm or something to come out of the trees. I'm like, all right, that's cool, and then I won't see any. And then I think it was like last year, I don't think I saw but maybe 1 or 2 swarms anywhere near my apiary. And then this year, I've seen 2 swarms already. And then if these 2 are in the boxes are legit swarms, there's 4. That's 4 swarms in my apiary, which is strange. So either the lures are doing a hell of a good job and pulling bees in, or I'm doing a hell of a bad job and I'm missing queen cells. One of the two. So,
hey, but it makes for good content.
It does make for good content. So I'm back at it.
All right, guys. Well, y'all have a good night, and we'll talk to you on the next stream.
Later
on. All right.
Bye.